Hello, everybody. What is going on? Okay, this is so fun. Welcome to the first ever Heart to Heart with Hads freaking episode. This is so cool. Anyways, um, I wanted to start this episode, or not this episode, I wanted to start this podcast out and I wanted it to be cool and legit. And so I did this whole branding shoot on this couch that I have here. I went and I had one of my friends do a full on brand kit, like branding thing for me because I wanted it to be the shit. I didn't want it to be something like, just thrown together. It is kind of just like lazy thrown together right now. But I also wanted to note that it took me so long to actually finally sit down and start the podcast because I think I did the branding shoot session I don't know, the middle of April or maybe the beginning of April. So it's been over a month, but I kept trying to find the perfect conditions. I was like, the dog's got to be chill. They got to get put up. I have to be looking presentable. And obviously, I mean, look at me. My hair's in a bun today. I have no makeup on. I'm in freaking sweats. Like, this is just so real and raw in me. So, yeah, basically, it's just, I was putting it off for so long, wanting these perfect conditions. And I think that goes for anything in life. We don't put things off just because we're not in the perfect position, whether that be, you know, you want to have kids, but it's like, oh, I gotta have the perfect position. I gotta have like all this money, all this. And it's like, oh, I want to lose this much weight, but I just don't have the time. Like, it's not the perfect right conditions. And like, that's the beauty about life is it's never going to be a perfect time to start something. So just do it. I mean, I was so scared to just start because I've never really talked on a mic like this. I can perform on a stage, but when it comes to speaking, not the best. And I tend to get off track and I just start to ramble on and tell sorts of stories. And I don't make sense sometimes. But I just wanted to throw that out there that it took me a really long time to start this. And you're probably like, really? Like, you out of all people, like you didn't want to start it. And yeah, it's just been a little difficult, ongoing little thing that I've had to overcome, but here we are. It's about 7:30 at night when I'm recording this, and I told myself yesterday, I was like, you are recording tomorrow, no ifs and or buts. And it's taken me 2 hours to get in here from getting off work. So that's that. Anyways, let's talk more about what the podcast is going to be about. So I thought of it as like it's going to be heartfelt conversations with me and just kind of what I have going on in my life and anything, honestly. It doesn't have to be solely fitness related, just like job, life, relationships, all of that stuff. I want it to be like you're sitting down and you're having a conversation with someone who understands you and someone who gets you and someone who you can relate to. And I don't want it to be like about, I don't know, superficial things. I want it to be about deep, meaningful things. So if that's not for you, sorry. It's going to be more of a inspirational type thing too. I'll probably learn a lot about myself while doing this too. So it'll be a fun time, but yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully, I can bring on some guests too and have some heart to hearts with them. But for now, it'll just be heart to heart with me and you, the person listening. So I'm really excited for it. I think you'll be able to get to know me and relate to me and just know that I'm a human being. We're all human beings despite the things that we do. And what you may see like online, what you portray online is just completely different than who you are. I try to be the same person I am online as I am in person, but sometimes people aren't super realistic on there. So I just want this to be like you're gonna get to know me, my vulnerabilities more through me talking than just an Instagram post you see or whatever. But yeah, so I thought I would just kind of like introduce me and who I am. If you're kind of new to knowing me or following me, we can just start back from square one, my roots. Grew up in a small town, Arc City. If you know, you know. And I probably have a lot of listeners from there. And I only live an hour away from there, just an hour north. But I'm there a little bit because my boyfriend does live there. But yeah, grew up there, grew up out in the country, my mom, dad, my sister, and our lab. And small town vibes, if you know, you know. But I think just growing up, I've always had this mentality of like wanting to absolutely be the best at every single thing. I don't even care what it is. I could be freaking, even to this day, like I still have this competitive drive, but like you're driving down the road and someone's like going faster than you. I'm like, not me. I'm going faster than you, dude. So I don't know. I've just always had that competitive edge. I don't know how to explain it. Mindset of just like I always got to be like one up, and I think it's been good in some ways, but some ways it's just like, girl, chill out. Like you cannot be the best at everything you do. It's really something hard for me to sit with. But hey, sorry, I have some bad acid reflux, so we'll not talk about that. So if you hear me like have this little noise, that's why. So sometimes I think too when I talk a lot, it just makes it worse. Maybe I'm good. Anyways, yeah. So grew up, mom, dad, sister, dog, out in the country, small town. Just like I said, grew up competing in competitive cheer. My mom owned a competitive cheer gym, she still does, and that's what I spent my whole like growing up doing. Like that was my whole identity. I swear it was just like cheer, 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 house cheer, house cheer. Oh, good! Like we won nationals for the 10th year in a row. No, I'm just kidding, but not really. But yeah. And then I've always just strived for being like so good in school, getting great grades, and being the freaking teacher's pet. But yeah, and it carried over. I was one of the valedictorians in high school, and my graduating class, it was also during COVID, which was literally terrible. But from there, I went on to Cherokee State for a year, and let me just tell you, let me just back up a little bit. So, I think when I was a little bit younger, like 11, 12, maybe that age, my dad had cancer for the first time, prostate cancer, and he got over that, beat that, or got his prostate removed, all that good stuff. Well, came back, he had colon cancer a couple of years later. And I think I was in high school by then, in my freshman year, sophomore year of high school. Beat that. Then he came back, and when he came back that last time, like it was good. Like it wiped him out then. But not to be like morbid, but yeah, it was probably the most traumatic experience I ever had to go through. Just seeing someone, you're that close to sick day in, day out. That was awful. But so yeah, I went through that traumatic experience in high school, and that was probably the worst time. That was the worst time of my life. The second worst time of my life was only 2 years later when I went to K State, and it was during COVID, and I had really not even healed from the first traumatic experience, and then I was already feeling that like weird lonesome feeling, and then I leave home. Well, it was just me and my mom after my dad passed away. My sister didn't live home. Live at home. She lived in Arkansas, but that's not the point. The point is, I was already in this low, lonely spot of just me and my mom, and then I decided to go off and be by myself. Not by myself. I had two roommates, but like literally on my own, 3 hours away from home at college. Like that was another traumatic experience in itself. Not only that, it was during COVID, so it was very isolating. And then, I didn't do anything. I would go to school. I would go to work, and I would go to cheer practice with my mask on, which was just so awful. I got to cheer one game, like, I wanted to follow my sister's footsteps and be like, yes, I'm a KC cheerleader, like, ooh, like, and don't get me wrong, like having that title is obviously amazing, being a D1 cheerleader, that's awesome, but it wasn't me. And I don't know, I feel like somehow the COVID era and me going through that kind of shaped me to be where I'm at right now. I just think all the time, like, if I wouldn't have gone through that and I would have had a good time and loved it there, and I would not be where I'm at. I would not have this podcast. I genuinely don't think I would have this podcast, this platform. I'm getting a little comfy. This platform to speak on, and this whole fitness coaching and be wanting to compete. I wouldn't have any of that if I would have stayed there. So, dang, I'm still having these acid refluxes. Anyways, with what I was saying is, I went through a lot in a short period of time and decided to move back home, and I still live at home. So, judgment free zone here. Um if you're 22 and you're still living at home, like, who cares? You're saving money. If you're 25 and you're still living at home, my boyfriend, it's fine. We're trying to save money. But no, I just think that it's okay. It's okay if you do that. See, like I said, I'm gonna get off topic a lot, and I don't really mean to do that. So I'm gonna get better. Maybe I'll have some notes for next time. Today, this is just me, like, real and raw. I did not write a single thing down for what I was going to talk about. I knew I wanted to do an introduction, and I knew that I wanted to talk a little bit about my upbringing and kind of who I am and whatever. Anyways, I did start my fitness page when I was at K State, so that was like very pivotal for me. I was like, you know what? I want to be a fitness influencer, and I was following like all of these fitness inspos, like the KK Fit Twins. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like that. And then I moved home, and I got a little bit more following. But I think when I moved home, I had, well, let me backtrack. I had very bad disordered eating habits. I would eat, but let me just tell you, I would be doing so much movement. I would walk like 6 miles in the morning. I'd go to the gym. I'd walk another 4 miles. Like, I'm not exaggerating either. I would run. And I had that addictive personality, like, too, that is, once you start seeing something happen and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's just what I kept doing. And I just went down this rabbit hole of the severe anxiety from that. Just, it carried on to my school, my studies, everything. I just was not overall in a good space mentally. And I think a lot of that too stemmed from me just wanting to cheer and be a flyer and fly at K State. And there was just a culmination of things that went on in my head. And it was just a traumatic from, I would say, 2018 to 2021. Very traumatic for me. And obviously, I've gone through things since then too that are like very like hard and deep, but nothing can compare to those times in my life. And so yeah, fast forward to now, I did my first bodybuilding show. Two of them actually. I competed in competition bodybuilding bikini in November of 2023 and December of 2023. I did two different shows, and it was amazing. And I'm gonna compete. Like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm obviously taking a break right now, trying to get my health in a good spot. And but my goal ultimately is to go pro there. And my other goal is to grow my online coaching. So, if you don't know, I do have a 9 to 5 now. I'm social media manager for a company. And then I also do my fitness training on the side, which I would love to make my full time job at some point, building up my athlete clientele, and just really thriving on that. I want to be my own boss. I want to set my own hours. That's the life for me. And I know I'll get there someday, somehow, some way. It may be 2 years, it may be 10 years, but I'm going to get there, and I'm going to keep grinding to do so. I have the marketing background. Oh, that's another thing I should have said. Once, I'm just rambling on. Once I moved home from K State, my mom lives in Wichita. Probably shouldn't say where I live. Is that bad? I don't think so. No, we're good. I'm like trying to hide my privacy here, but I think it's fine. So yeah, I moved home to Wichita from K State. It was April 2021, and I was like, this is terrible, Mom, at K State. And I was going back and forth between like, should I stay or should I go? And I was even looking at apartments in Manhattan because my roommates were also like, there was just a situation like they were leaving, and I was like, do I really want to stay? I don't know. And I was just I would like cry every night for the last, I don't know, 4 weeks I lived, not even 4 weeks, probably like 2 months I lived there. I was just in such a rock and hard place. And finally, I don't know what went over me, but I was like, you know what? I have gone through so much. I just cannot afford to be on my own right now. I need to be at home. I need to be. I'm such a mom's girl, and I was like, I need to be with my mom. I need that. I don't know what it was. Comfort, peace. But when I came home, everything just fell into place, and I found my thing, like my fitness grind, and I'm so happy for that. And I just, like I said, I don't think I'd be where I am right now without those battles that I went through. So, yeah, just amazing to look back at. But yeah, graduated from WSU last May. I can't believe it's almost been a freaking year. Yeah, I think graduation was like May 11th or something. Wow. That year has gone by so fast. And I remember last year thinking like, I can't wait to be done with school. I can't wait to like get this like big girl job. And now that I'm here, it's like, okay, like what's next, you know? I don't know. So just I'm always striving for something more, and I think that's a lot of my issue is I always want to be doing more and more and more and more and more. And if you're someone that deals with the same thing, like it's okay to want that, but just focus on a few good things you love and you're good at, and don't try to spread yourself so thin because it can only get you so far. And take it from me, because I used to try and do way too much at once, and it's just not good on the mental. So just don't do that. Anyways, back to like I'm saying, I'm just gonna keep rambling and going off topic. No, but yeah. So I can't believe it's been a whole freaking year, and I'm already 22. I've been on my job for almost a year. It'll have been a year in August. I've been there for like 10 months now. It's been crazy. This past year has been literally crazy. So much has happened. I've done so much, and just in these last, just in this last year, but even in my last like 22 years of life, I can't believe like 22. That's so crazy to me. I feel like that's so young. I mean, I feel like that's so old, but everyone's like, "Gosh, you're so young. You have so much life to live." And I'm like, I need to accomplish this. And I don't. I really need to just chill out, honestly, because I feel like I'm so ahead of my years. I always have been, and people always tell me like you act so much older than you really are. Like you are just you do well, and I'm like, yeah, well, also like really stress myself out because I have such high expectations for myself. I don't know what's not hustling, and that's a whole other topic. But I think too, just thinking about too, like me, my upbringing is I've always been competitive, and I've always had parents that have been strict. Mom, if you're listening, you know you'd be strict, you and dad. Like when I was younger, it was like asked to do all of these things, and my dad would be like, nope, like you're staying home. Like, and honestly, I really like growing up, it kind of sucked. Like you're like all your friends like go out on the weekend, and you out there's like 10 p.m. curfew. But you know what? I am so glad that my parents were like that, because I would I would not be good. But and that's the thing is like I wanted to please my parents. I didn't want my parents mad at me. I didn't want to lie to them. I wanted them to be proud of me. And so I never lied. I never went against their will. And I think that just has helped blossom me to who I am today as well. Because I was just always so obedient and responsible, and I just wanted to have this good reputation growing up. I've always wanted to just, this is bad to say, but just like be liked and resembled. And I think I still have those tendencies, and they're not as bad as like some, now I don't care as much if someone doesn't like me, but back then, like in high school and middle school and, younger, I wanted nothing more than just to have a good reputation. And so I was like Miss Goody Two Shoes and always just doing what's right, teacher's pet, get good grades, all of that. But it all stemmed from, first of all, my parents disciplined us. Like, I don't know if this is like something that's real or what, but like, is that like, and was I genetically made that way to just want to not disappoint my parents, or like is that what they taught me growing up? I really don't know, but my sister and I are both the same way. We never wanted to lie, we never wanted to cheat, like we just wanted to do the right thing. And that can be a whole episode, which maybe I'll bring my sister on for that one. But just always wanting to to please them and be be very good kids, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't really know. I feel like I'm just going off on tangents and I've just been explaining like what I'm doing. But so yeah, the Heart to Heart with Hads episode or podcast itself, I want it to be like heartfelt conversations with me. And the tagline I made, like empowering the champion within, because like I said, I'm a competitive person and everything I do throughout my day is like, all right, so how can I be number one at this? Or it's just crazy. And I think I get that from my parents, both of them being highly competitive. But yeah, I think that this podcast is going to bring a lot of good um, insight and empowerment. So, empowering the champion within, just kind of helping you and being there with you, being real and raw, someone you can relate to, and empowering the champion within, whether that be, you know, just anything in your life, actually, like the day, even just winning the day. So yeah, this episode is like already like short. I'm trying to end it, but it's like I feel like I shouldn't end it yet. But if I have that feeling to end it, then maybe I should. I don't know. But I think that's like really honestly all I have to say about just like introduction of me and who I am. No, that's not true. Maybe we should talk about like my hobbies and things that I like to do that are not fitness related, because I do have another personality that's not fitness related. I do like to spend so much time out in nature with my dogs. I like to read books when I have time. And I struggle a lot with just chilling out. So I love to be productive. And when I'm sitting, just chilling on the couch or whatever, I'm like, okay, how can I make this time productive? So I'm like on my phone, like making Instagram posts to post on my fitness page or just anything random. And my mom was like, girl, chill out. And I'm like, I can't. I just need to be doing something, which I've gotten better. I've really gotten better at it. But yeah, what else do I enjoy? I enjoy spending time at home. I don't like to go out and I don't like to party and I don't like to stay up late and I never really have. So I guess that's another thing too. I like to spend time with my family. I do too like to bake, but I don't eat it because fitness. Sometimes I'll eat it. It depends on what it is. Like I made sourdough bread. What else? I'm trying to think because I feel like I go to work and I come home and I do some more work for coaching, and on the weekends really I just want to just chill out, and I go to the gym. I spend a good amount of time at the gym on the weekends because I have more time, and chill with the dogs, get some groceries and meal prep. I really live a basic, not basic, no, not basic, because I feel like I'm not like every other, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm better or superior to anybody, but I feel like I'm definitely not the normal gal, and I've never really been normal as far as doing what everyone else is doing. I've always been the oddball out, and I'm okay with that. I always knew growing up too that I was just different, not superior, just different. Like, I didn't like super fit in with everyone because they did things that I didn't agree with, and I was just always, like I said, wanted to be goody goody hads, and look at me now. I'm still I still feel like I'm the same person. But at the end of the day, like, it's fine. We all have our things that we like or that we're good at, but for me, it's just being a homebody, being boring. I like to do the monotonous things, and here recently I've gotten a lot more into my faith, so I've been going to church now, and I've been setting aside time in my day to um, read Bible. I only have the Bible app on my phone, but I did get a Bible. Bible's coming, so I want to just get more in tune with that. But overall, I feel like this past year has been the most growth for me spiritually, mentally, physically. There's just some like stuff that's happened that I think I've grown a lot from, and I hope that my episodes and the people I bring in and what I talk about will help you as well and just empower you to step outside of your comfort zone, break free of the norms, not follow what every person on social media is doing, not trying to live up to these expectations too that you see online. Like, if you're living for that, then like, what are you doing? So, finding ways to have your own peace and like getting that peace from within, empowering the champion from within. I'm going to keep saying that because that's the tagline. But I just started going off on a tangent again. There we go. But let's see how many times I can say but and like and literally. Maybe I will get better at it. I don't even know what I was saying. That's my problem is I'll start going and then I'll just forget what I'm even saying. But I think that I am going to wrap the episode up here pretty soon because I've been just talking too much about random little willy nilly things. Oh, I know what I was talking about now. I was talking about how much I've grown in this last year, spiritually, mentally, physically, and I've just become. I'm a stressor. Let's just go back. Let's just talk about that a little bit, actually. I've always had like insane amounts of just like stressing over the dumbest little shit ever. And even just like tests when I was in school or like little tiny things, I would build up so much stress before the thing like even occurred or took place. Like, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand. And I still do that to this day. I try and get better about it, but I am getting better actually. And I've just started to become more at peace with where I'm at and knowing like you gotta take this life one day at a time. I know that's so cliche, but once you like find that inner peace, and I think honestly me getting more into my spiritual, my faith, like I think that has helped me be even more at peace than what I've already been trying to do. So I don't know. I hope I can share my wisdom on that with you, and we'll get into more episodes of like more deeper things to things we can do, and it'll be fun. I'm actually super stoked. I've already have my first guest lined up, and you're gonna be so excited to hear who this person is because she is my role model. She is the shit. You probably know who I'm talking about, but she's the best, and she produced me. So I just gave it away right there. Well, our plan is to record a podcast. Our next episode will be us two, and it'll be a good one. I'm really excited to have her. It'll be so fun. Like, I'm just stoked. I'm just gonna like it's gonna be my mom. So I live at home. Like, why not? She's here. We're together. I told her, Mom, like, you're gonna be my first guest, and she's like, all right. So what's our podcast gonna be about? And so we'll have to stay tuned for that next week on the next episode. But yeah, for now, this is the very first one. I hope you guys will stay tuned and follow along with me on my journey of life and that you'll learn some things along the way as well. It'll be fun. It'll be just chill and laid back. I don't want to make it me like sitting here in a suit with like my makeup done up and all this stuff. And I just want it to be chill. Like, you can relate to me, and if you, I'm sure everyone's going to relate to me in one way or another at some point. So just keep staying tuned for the heart to heart episodes. And yeah, I appreciate you all so much. And you can tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I also have started recording for YouTube. So I'll probably just keep my YouTube page that I have and just rebrand it to Heart to Heart with Ads. So yeah, make sure to leave a review and share with your friends if you enjoyed or if you want to keep hearing about me rambling on. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next episode with my mamacita, and I will see y'all in the next episode.